The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Now, the police commissioner did say that there was a suspect that was killed. Can you confirm that that suspect was here at the VI, sir?
No, we can't confirm at all. All we can say is that a patient was brought in. We don't have any more information than that. In fact, you probably have more information than we do about that.
Cause of death, sir?
This was a trauma arrest, multiple injuries, probably, we believe, a combination of blasts, potentially gunshot wounds.
How many gunshot wounds?
Unable to count.
Multiple gunshot wounds?
Yes.
And the other, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the rest of that.
And probably a blast injury also.
Blast meaning what?
An explosive device, possibly shrapnel, thermal injury.
Can you describe it where or what?
It was pretty much throughout the trunk. It was multiple wounds.
So would it be consistent with perhaps a bomb strapped to him? Would it be consistent with that?
Unclear. I think the medical examiner will be able to kind of conclusively say that. But there were signs of more than just gunshot wounds.
Blast injury to the trunk?
Yes.
Multiple gunshot in this?
We're going to take maybe 2 or 3 more questions, but that's about all that we can say.
Did he lose a lot of blood?
Unable to say.
Do we know if he said anything before he passed away?
All we know is he arrived in arrest here. We don't really know what happened at the scene.
So he was in cardiac arrest before he even got into the emergency room?
That's correct.
And you worked on it for about 10 or 15 minutes or so?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Doctors at Beth Israel Hospital talking about their efforts to resuscitate suspect number 1 in the Boston Marathon bombings and one of the suspects who murdered a MIT police officer tonight. He arrived at Beth Israel at about 1:20. They attempted to resuscitate him for 10 to 15 minutes. He died at 1:35 this morning. That is suspect number 1, now dead. And they said they couldn't count the gunshot wounds and that he had some kind of blast wound, maybe shrapnel or something as well. And as we talk about explosive devices, we look live pictures here where police in Watertown suspect there could be numerous devices around that city this morning.
Right, and this is they're searching a car here, and they're using the their robotic unit there to, I guess, take a closer look inside, or perhaps even detonate something that they may think is suspicious. Of course, that's pretty common, that they'll have a controlled explosion. If, in fact, they find a package or something that they deem that might be suspicious, but we're not quite sure exactly what that is as we take a closer look. But we do know that this is a robot that has gone in, looking in a car. And what will happen next? Well, we're all just going to have to wait and find out here together and see exactly what happens. But it's interesting, if we can go back to what they said at Beth Israel, Kim, that there was traumatic injury to his torso, which maybe suggests a bomb.
He did say, he did allude to the fact, he said
there was a bomb that went off, which some might see as poetic justice, that the bomber was killed perhaps by one of his own bombs, but you know,
they were seen throwing devices from the car. Right. There have been numerous devices spotted throughout the night, and you know, yes, they couldn't count how many gunshots, and they said some sort of blast wound, and when pressed, they said possibly shrapnel or some explosive device that had gone off. In terms of the threat of firepower that we heard was this extended exchange. Too numerous to count, also explosions, and we have that for you. Some of what was happening while you were likely sleeping. Listen in.
There's explosions and gunfire going on down the street.
They are still in what the Boston Police Commissioner called a public safety mode in Watertown tonight. Live pictures right here at Watertown Mall, the last place they held a briefing and promised another one within the hour.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.